I'm still Tim Ripper Owens, I think. No, KK's Priest. KK's Priest is this. We're pushing KK's Priest this time.
We are today, mate. How you going, Tim? Thanks for joining us, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Ripper Owens back at you again, as always. It's always nice to talk to you. We seem to talk quite a bit now, don't we?
We do, mate. We're old mates these days. It's good to see.
Yeah. Yes.
It is. So this time round, as you say, mate, we are here to talk about KK's Priest, and you guys are preparing to release your sophomore album, The Sinner Rides Again, on September 29th. So you're pretty experienced in the music industry, mate. So what's this period like for you? Like just waiting for the album to come out? Like, do you put it to bed and move on, or you get a bit anxious, or?
I've done it so much now. It used to be really exciting. And then you start releasing so many records like I do, then it loses a little bit. But this one's back to being exciting again. I'm really excited. This is 2 records in a row I've released with, you and I talked about my solo EP, Return to Death Row. We did that, but so that was a really exciting one. So I got back-to-back exciting records, and I'm really excited about this KK's Priest release because Sinner Rides Again is just a great record. It's really, really good. So I just cannot wait to get this one out.
And like you say, man, like you still release music with other bands and your own solo stuff, but do you think that there's more pressure and expectation because it is an album from yourself and KK Downing?
Oh, I think so. I think it is for me because I want it to be usually like my last one. It's all the pressure is totally on me, and you want it to be good because it's your own. But I want this to be successful and good for Ken. I want it means a lot to him. He's worked really hard at it, so I want it to be great, and I want to be on the top of my game. And so it just adds a little bit more pressure to it.
And to date, you've released the singles One More Shot at Glory, Reap the Whirlwind, and Strike of the Viper. So would you say overall that they're a good sonic representation of what to expect?
I do think so. I think each song's a little bit different. The last 3 songs on this record are a little more epic. I mean, Wash Away Your Sins, the last song on the album, is very epic. It's probably my favorite, but I love it. And I love the way each song has come out, and they're a little bit different. And, Strike of the Viper is such a great tune because it's just like 2.5 minutes of just right in your face, right at you, heavy metal. But yeah, I think it really represents the record, the first 3 songs.
Yeah, of course, everyone out there knows yourself and they know KK, mate, but introduce us to the other 3 members of the band and tell us what they bring to the sound.
Well, on the other guitar with AJ, it's a friend of ours and a friend of Ken's. Ken's been friends with him for years and worked with AJ's band Hostile, and really he brings so much vocally too. And he came with writing, ideas and stuff, and he's such a great compliment to Ken at guitar, and it's great to see those 2. Tony Newton on bass. Tony, he's all over the place. First of all over the place on stage. He's everywhere. He's just he's just crazy, going everywhere, and his playing is so good. But he also is smart with the music industry stuff and the mixing. He does the mixing for Iron Maiden's live records, and so he's great with sound, and so he brings a whole package. And then Sean Elg on drums is a friend of mine who I brought in from 3 Tremors, and he's in Cage and does a lot of solo shows with me, and toured with Ross the Boss, and he's just an outstanding drummer. And I'll tell you, the band is so put together and so talented, and people can see that from these live shows that we have that's out there now from all the concerts we've been playing, and it's just a great band.
Now, on the surface, mate, this may sound like a pretty simple question, but I've ever think on it, like, how do you manage to keep the old school metal DNA in your music despite all the advances and temptations of modern music?
Well, that's just what we do. You still want to keep your ear to things and make sure you're not stuck in totally stuck in the '80s and just try to do exactly that. But it is in our DNA, and this is what we do. You know, I mean, I sing the way I do, and with KK's Priest, I mean, KK Downing's writing the songs. I mean, he wrote Judas Priest songs for over 40 years, and now everybody knows that how big of a part he was writing those songs, because he just writes like KK. Some people say, "Hey, these songs kind of remind me of Judas Priest." I'm like, I think they kind of remind you of KK Downing. You know, I mean, this is a guy who writes that, but this is what we do, and you know, we're not young. We're not out there reinventing the wheel. You know, we're metalheads. We write what we do, and this is, you know, it's too late in the game to try and do something totally different. But you got to stay fresh, and this new record is it's got that connection with the old school and new sound and aggressive, a lot of layers. So you know, you just want to make the best record you can, really.
And yourself, of course, yourself and KK played on 2 Judas Priest studio albums together with Jugulator and Demolition, mate. So how was the process different back then, writing together, to what it is now?
Cutting out a lot, but I can still
Sorry, buddy.
you know, you know, I think the difference now is we're more of a we're more of a team. I think now, he knows what to expect, and he just says, "Do your thing. Here's what I got. Here's the songs. Now do your thing." But being together is just like old times, you know. We've always maintained our friendship, so being together it just feels natural to be together. It's just on this record, we really, all of us get to put our own thing into it. So it's you know, I've been around for a long time now. I mean, I was newer back then, so I was singing exactly kind of what they wanted me to sing, and now he just gives me the ideas, and I run with my version of his ideas.
So does the old chemistry come straight back with you and him in the studio, or do you have to sort of work at it before the album?
Well, this album I actually recorded at my house in Ohio. I recorded there. So I think it makes it so much better myself, because I got to spend a lot of time sitting in my studio and taking my time and doing things over again or different or changing it and putting layers on it. So I think that's the big difference with this record.
So after the album drops, mate, you head out for a run of shows in the UK and Europe. So tell us about those.
Yeah, the shows were great. I mean, played, and festivals are usually hard to start off with. You know, festivals are harder shows to play than your regular touring shows, but they were just amazing. I mean, the crowds were unbelievable, and singing the KK's Priest songs, and it's really went over even better than I ever thought. I mean, we sound just great, and the band's playing great, and the stage show and the pyro. I mean, I'm really looking forward to touring the world with it. I mean, we're trying really hard to put shows together, so it'd be nice to get to Australia and do a KK's Priest run of shows. I mean, it's been really great. I mean, the crowds have been unbelievable.
Very cool. All right, mate, well, before we let you go, we've started up our 3 new Spotify playlists based on the artists that we speak to. So using songs from any band that you've played with, including the solo stuff, can you give us a song for a playlist to get the party started, one for a playlist to save your marriage, and one for a playlist that could potentially end your marriage?
A song that would start a marriage and end a marriage? Is that what you said?
One to save a marriage and one to end a marriage.
One to save a marriage. Well, I would say, yeah, that's I guess you could pick One More Shot at Glory to save a marriage, and then I would say, yeah, I guess if I was gonna to end it, I would just play "Wash Away Your Sins." If there was a song that says "Fuck you, cunt," that would be my.
You spent too much time.
There you go. All right.
Spent too much time in Australia.
Well, listen, I would say my favorite words ever. Boy, cunt, I'm drinking coffee out of a cunt mug, and
I knew
I'm just.
we got on so.
I'm sitting. I'm sitting in Australia right now in Katoomba. That my girlfriend's drinking coffee out of a cunt mug in the mountains. So I'm almost like an Australian now.
Very good to hear, brother. All right, well, thanks very much for your time today, Tim. It's been a pleasure as per usual, mate. And hopefully you do bring KK's Priest over here shortly, and we'll get to do a few shows with you.
Yeah, Kris, always good talking to you. And again, hopefully I'll get your way and we can hang. I know we say this every time we do an interview, but next time, hopefully I'll come your way and we'll hang out.
Sounds good to me, brother. You continue to take care, mate, and keep smiling.
All right. You got it, buddy.